this class is to help you to understand all the past tenses. We use different past tenses in English to, well, talk about things that we did in the past. I would like to explain you this very well, okay? But first, I would like to tell you that, well, we have a very nice resource that I would like you to consider. Remember that we have our platform, yeah? Um, I would like all of you to be able to benefit from your platform, okay? Because you have some activities that you can access, so many resources. So if you don't know how to enter your platform and you don't know what resources you have and you don't know exactly how everything works, I can help you, but try to contact the person on WhatsApp from the administration of the school so they help you to understand the platform. Okay, the platform is on our website, deltaenglish.com, delta-english.com. We go to the section Acceso Alumnos, and here, well, we gave you, we send you an email for you to be able to enter your information, right? Your email, and you can create a password. So you go to this section, Materiales Inglés A1 to C1, so you can get your all the materials of the course. Okay, so here you can download some of the, we have an offline platform. The online platform, sometimes we use it here in class. Maybe you remember the last class that we had a listening activity and we used the platform. You can download level 1, level 2. You can download all the 5 levels. Right now, we are working with level 2, okay? We are working with level 2, okay? So you download the platform. Here you have a video tutorial and instructions of how to install it. Okay. And then we also have some other resources. These are books that you can download. We have an illustrated dictionary with pictures. Sometimes if you're more a visual person, a visual learning is so good. We have vocabulary that is specific for finance, for laws, for engineering, for medicine. Yeah. So if you are specialized in any of these things, well, you can learn vocabulary that is specific to what you need in your life. So these are books. Other resources that we have in the platform is the mock tests. Mock test is like bueno, un examen de simulación. Is going to help you to see how a certification test really looks like. Yeah. So here you have different resources, and I would like you to be able to access the platform because it has some surprises as well, some little surprise for you. And well, if you don't know how to use your platform, please talk to the person from the administration on WhatsApp so they can check your email or they can help you with installing everything you need. Okay, what are you going to find? One of the new, because we are improving this every day, yeah? Every day they come up with new ideas and with new materials. So some of these resources that we will have from now on is this Pimsleur course that is audios, yeah? These are audios that will help you a lot with your pronunciation. Maybe you think that you have a bad memory, and maybe you think that it's very difficult for you to learn English, or that you need to improve and you don't want to use the same words all the time, and you want to sound like a more advanced English user. So in this case, you can use these materials. You will find them in your platform, I think tomorrow. And like, for example, if we play this audio that is for the intermediate level, we will have this, right?
Esta es la lección 19 de Pimsleur, Inglés 3.
Listen to this conversation.
Usted oirá que la mujer dice
The U.S.
que es una forma corta para referirse a Estados Unidos.
Listen.
Manuel, your niece is coming soon, isn't she?
Yes, she's arriving on Saturday.
I don't remember. Why is she coming to the U.S.?
She wants to visit some colleges. She'd like to study English here.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she wants to travel, too. From here, she'll go to Boston, and then maybe to Canada, to Montreal.
Listen again.
Manuel, your niece is coming soon, isn't she?
Yes, she's arriving on Saturday.
I don't remember. Why is she coming to the U.S.?
She wants to visit some colleges. She'd like to study English here.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she wants to travel, too. From here, she'll go to Boston, and then maybe to Canada,
Okay.
to
So the point of these activities that you can do at home is that you listen to the conversation and you repeat. It helps you a lot with the pronunciation because you will have to, they won't tell you to repeat a whole phrase, but it will go little by little. Other things that you can do is to, I don't know if you like, it depends a lot if you like it or not, but you can find podcasts on the internet, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. There are podcasts about many topics. The point is that you find the podcasts that you like and that you listen to them in English. The difference when you listen to a podcast, the difference with a video or with a movie is that when you have only audio, you can focus just on listening, you can focus on the pronunciation, you can focus on the intonation patterns and other abilities that you need for speaking. So that's another recommendation that I give you. Try to listen to podcasts, and I mean, they help you improve your language even more than movies or series, because it's only audio. So this is another recommendation that I would like to give you. Okay. So now we're going to continue with the pronunciation of the simple past, and we are going to continue talking about vocabulary, to talk about trips, and to describe the past. All right. So let's start. I'm going to show you now the regular verbs list. Yes, I'm saying regular verb. So you know that it's not very common to have a regular verb list, but an irregular verbs list. And the reason is because you don't need a regular verbs list, because all these verbs, they have a last two letters. They have an ending that is very, very specific, and it's for all the words, all the verbs in past. What is the ending for the verbs in past, the regular verbs in past? Do you know? I cannot hear you. Okay, it's ed, yeah? All the regular verbs, they end in ed, but remember the pronunciation tips that we have. Well, actually, more than tips, they are rules for the pronunciation of the regular verbs, okay? So you have three possible pronunciation, yeah, for the regular verbs. Okay, every regular verb has the ed, but of course you don't say robeth, you don't say talketh, right? What you need to do in this case is that the last ed you will pronounce in different ways. For example, you would say, instead of robeth, you say
Rub.
rubbed. Exactly. Okay, I can hear you now. Good. instead of saying watcheth, right? You say
Watched.
wa, yes. And just the third pronunciation is when the verb ends in T or D, then you pronounce like ed, just like in the verb wanted, yeah, wanted, ended, wanted, ended. All right. Now, we're going to go to the this list, and I will ask all of you to help me to pronounce these verbs in past. Okay, let's do it. In this case, we're going to the E, and I'm going to ask Paula, can you help me read all these verbs in past? I will tell you the present, and you help me with the pronunciation of the past. Okay, so earn. How would we say this verb in past?
Earned,
Earned. Good. Excellent. Next one. Educate.
educated,
Educated. Good. Actually, there's a small trick in the pronunciation of education. So as you can see, we have the D, and a lot of students, they say education, huh? But that's not the correct pronunciation. Actually, this part is not edu, ¿no? No es como edu, como si dijeras Eduardo, ¿no? This part es como una Y, ¿no? En vez de decir edu, es como age, yeah. So be careful just with this. You say education, 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 not education. So if we go here to this verb, is the same. No sería educate, sería educate, educate, educate. Entonces en pasado, educated. Good, educated. Okay, the next one, please, Paula. Embarrass,
embarrassed,
embarrassed. Exactly. Employ,
employed,
employed. Way to go. Empty,
empty,
emptied.
emptied,
Encourage,
encouraged,
excellent. Encouraged. Good. Excellent pronunciation. All right. Now, can I ask Samantha, can you help me with the next verbs, please? Let's say, and please tell me the past.
Ended,
Indeed. Good. Enjoy.
enjoyed,
Excellent. Enter.
entered,
Entered. Good. Entertain.
entertained,
Good. Escape.
escaped,
Examine.
examined,
Good. All right. Thank you so much. Let's ask now, Luigi, please, the next verbs. Excite.
The next one, or excite, excuse,
Can
exercise,
you say the first one? Excite in past.
excited,
Excited, exactly. Excuse.
excuse it,
Try again. Excuse.
excuse it,
Excused. Excused.
okay,
Sounds like that. Okay, the next one, please. Exercise.
exercise,
Exercised.
exit, exits,
Exist.
exist,
Existed.
existed,
Existed. Expand.
expanded,
Expanded. Expect.
expected,
Expected. Exactly. So the same way, explain, explained, explode, exploded, extend, extended. Thank you. Okay, Edgardo, help me please now with these F verbs. Can you say face in past? Face in past.
Face it.
Okay, it sounds more like a T, so you would say faced.
Faced.
Faced. Okay, and remember, well, face is a noun, but it's also a verb, right? In this case, it would mean enfrentar. Yeah. Okay, how about fade?
Faded.
Faded. Good. Fail.
Failed.
Fail.
Failed.
Fail. Exactly. Fancy.
Fancied.
Exactly. Fancied. Fasten.
Mm, fastened.
Fastened. Good. Fastened. Fax.
Faxed.
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 Faxed. Fear.
Feared.
Feared. Good. Feared. Fence.
Fenced.
The last sound is S, so it's an unvoiced consonant. It sounds like a T. So,
Fenced.
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 Fenced. All right. Good. So, and this is the pronunciation of the past. Do you have any questions? So far, so good? Yep. Okay, so now it's time that we see, I think will be our first like grammar topic. So you know that we are learning about the past, all right? And so today we're going to see a topic. We are going to analyze all the tenses that you use to talk about the past, and especially a structure that maybe you don't know. Okay, one moment. Okay, and this topic is called used to and would. And I would like to help you understand this, all right? Okay, let me show you the picture. Okay, let me show you a picture of a person over here. I think I'm always talking about him now. Okay. So who is this? This is Donald Trump when he was a kid. Well, when he was young. Okay. I think this is his father, maybe, right? Okay, this is Donald Trump when he was in high school as a fashion model. I don't know, maybe this looks fake. Let's see, young Donald Trump. Well, he looks different, no? So different. Okay, so Donald Trump didn't used to be a politician, right? I'm using this structure that is used to. So Donald Trump didn't used to be a politician, right? Um, one second. Do you know this guy? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes.
Okay. This is Jeffrey Dahmer as a kid. Back then, Dahmer, okay, do you guys, okay, Edgardo knows Jeffrey Dahmer. Luigi, do you know Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, for the series.
Yeah, but he existed in real life. I mean, the murderer, right? Samantha, Paula, do you know Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, I do.
Me
Okay,
too.
so this is his picture as a kid. So back then, he didn't used to be a murderer. He didn't used to be so bad, right? I mean, I think now he's dead. I'm not sure, but I'm using these references to explain this topic for today. Yeah. So we're going to talk about in this structure to talk about things that are not the way they used to be anymore. So let's start with this topic. We're going to learn how to use two very important structures to talk about the past. Now I'm sharing my screen, and this topic is used to. Okay, used to is a structure. Let's read this and then let's work on the exercises that we have here on the book. Can you help me, Paola, to read the information from the chart and the examples for used to, please?
Used to when something happened over a period of time but doesn't happen anymore. I used to be a swimmer, but now I play soccer. We didn't used to ride our bikes a lot, but now we ride every day. Did you used to live in Boston?
Excellent, thank you. So, it says used to use it for things that happened long time ago. And I would like to start explaining you something. In Spanish is very rich to talk about the past, and English is very rich to talk about the future. So in Spanish, we have something that is called el pasado remoto and pasado próximo. Yeah. So, for example, if I did something yesterday, for example, yesterday I went to the beach. Yeah. So this is something that happened recently, but there's no difference if I say 20 years ago there was an economic crisis, or 70 or 60 years ago Donald Trump was burned. Yeah. So I'm using this used to as un pasado remoto. Yeah. For example, in Spanish, you maybe will know, because maybe you know the difference between what is the difference between saying yo comía or yo comí, right? Or yo dormía y yo dormí. You know, we use pasado próximo y pasado remoto. In Spanish, if you did something recently, you would say, for example, ayer fui a una fiesta con mis amigos, right? But if I say, when I was young, cuando yo era joven, yo iba de fiesta con mis amigos. Ya no digo yo fui de fiesta, digo yo iba de fiesta. Yeah? Because fui is the verb in Spanish that you use when something recent happened. And iba is the verb that you use when something was long ago. Yeah. So you see, Spanish sometimes, I mean, Spanish is a very rich language, and sometimes it's a very difficult language. In English, fortunately, we just have one kind of past. Yeah. Si yo me quiero referir a ambas cosas, pues en el inglés es bastante sencillo. I would say, I went to a party yesterday. And when I was young, I went to Paris, ¿no? Entonces, si yo traduzco el primero, yo diría, yo fui a una fiesta. But in the second sentence, you would say, yo iba a una fiesta. Yeah. So in English, we don't have this structure. English is not as rich to talk about these things. But this topic that we are seeing right now, este tema que estamos viendo en este momento, que es el used to, es lo más parecido a trabajar con un pasado remoto. Yeah. Is the most common way to talk about things that happened a long time ago. Yeah, hace mucho tiempo. So when would you use used to? Well, for example, used to, you can use it when you have different stages in your life. Stages in life, etapas en la vida. For example, childhood, la juventud. For example, adulthood, or when you were a teenager, right? The adolescence, adulthood, right? So these are stages in life. Entonces, cuando yo hablo de una etapa de la vida muy anterior, so I'm going to say used to. I'm going to use used to y otra palabra que es would, okay? So literally used to is translated as, used to se traduce como yo solía, ¿ya? And the negative, yo no solía. For example, the first one, I used to be a swimmer, but now I play soccer. Yo solía ser un nadador, pero ahora juego soccer, ¿ya? So the change, I couldn't use used to, yo no puedo hacer used to si dejé de hacer una actividad ayer, ¿ya? We only use used to when it's a long time ago. Es un pasado remoto, ¿ya? Por así decirlo. And here you have the negative. When you use the negative used to, so because use is un verbo regular, right? So that's why we add the ed, I used to. But when it's negative, it's not necessary, right? Because you are using the auxiliary verb didn't. So remember something, yes, that didn't, and the verb, I mean, did is the auxiliary verb for the simple past. So the negative, we say didn't, we didn't used to ride our bikes. Y aquí ya use no lleva la D porque tenemos didn't, okay? The next part, it's a question. So you say, did you used to live in Boston? ¿Solías vivir en Boston? Did you used to live in Boston? So again, I imagine esta estructura used to es como utilizar cualquier verbo en pasado simple with the auxiliary verb did. I'm going to explain you, we're going to have a review of the simple past, but I want you to understand the structure, right? How it works. But look at this. Then we have other verb that is would. And what is the meaning of would? Do you know? ¿Alguien sabe qué significa would? Do you guys know the meaning of would? ¿Alguien sabe qué significa would?
Quería.
Yeah, it's the ending, right? It doesn't have a meaning until you use the verb. For example, if you say would go, bueno, sería iría. Would eat, comería, right? But this is not what I mean tonight. Because would has another meaning and is related to, used to. Yeah. So for this class and for this context, used to es lo mismo que would. Okay. In this context. So I could say I used to go when I was a kid. I used to play on the street. When I was a kid, I would play on the street. You see, it's the same sentence and it's the same meaning. So you can say I used to play or I would play. No problem. Okay? But the only thing you have to remember is be careful with would, because would cannot be used with some verbs. For example, be, live, know. They are called stative verbs. Se llaman verbos estáticos, ¿no? Con esos verbos no podemos utilizar would. Why are they called stative verbs? Se llaman verbos estáticos, stative verbs. And because when I tell you to do something, for example, okay, come here, ven aquí, no? Come here. So how do I know that you're doing the action? Well, because I see you coming to me, right? Yo sé que haces la acción porque te veo haciendo esa acción. If I say go to sleep, bueno, yo puedo verte durmiendo, ¿no? If I say run, please run, so I will see you running. But the problem with be, si alguien te dice please be, ¿qué harías? Please be. It's like, what? Or please leave. Please no. So in English, we always say that a verb is an action, but not all the time, ¿ya? Hay verbos que no son acciones. Hay verbos que funcionan más como estados, you know, like be, like live, like no. So in this case, solamente la gramática nos pide que utilicemos would con un verbo activo, ¿ya? For example, go, eat, any other verb. I mean, there are very little stative verbs. Hay realmente muy pocos verbos estáticos. But when you have be, live, and know, you would say, I used to be, I used to live, I used to know. All right? And in order to understand this even better, we would like to show you a song. This song is by the band Coldplay. I don't know if you like Coldplay. I used to like Coldplay a lot, and because they were a very creative band, and I really liked their first album. But I didn't like the next albums because I feel that they lost some originality. Yeah. I don't know, siento que
Así es como hicimos.
perdieron mucha creatividad la banda Coldplay. But they have a very famous song, and actually it's one of my favorites, and that is called Viva la Vida. Yeah, I would like to show you this song. I hope that I don't get copyright. Okay, so we're going to listen to this song, and just pay attention to this. Okay, we're going to, en esta canción tenemos el tema de hoy, used to and would. Okay, and pay attention to the lyrics. Presten atención a la letra. Okay, all right, here.
I used to rule the world, seas would rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone, sweep the streets I used to own. the sound of drums. People couldn't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever wanna be king?
Okay. So let's analyze the beginning of the lyrics of the story of the song. And the song says different things. Did you understand some of the lyrics from this song? Do you understand the context, the meaning of the song? It has an interesting background. This story talks about the life of someone. Who do you think we're talking about in this song? Well, I think according to what I read, I think some time ago, this song is talking about the last king of France. I think it was Louis 15. I'm not sure. Let me check. And who was the last king of France? Ah, yeah, Louis 16. This song is talking about Louis 16. What happened to him? Well, they killed him. Who killed him? The whole people from France, French. The French killed him. Why? Because it was in September 1792. Actually, 1793 when he was killed, right? The French people made a revolt, una protesta, and it all ended in killing the king. So the song talks about the king, right? Things that he used to have and now that he didn't have. So the song starts saying, I used to rule the world. What do you think, guys, is the meaning of this part of the song? ¿Qué quiere decir? I used to rule the world.
Be the government.
Exactly, right? So it's the past, right? I want you to understand this structure. So the sentence we can translate it as Yo solía gobernar el mundo. Yeah, exactly. We see rule. Excellent. Very well. And nowadays, there are all around the world, for example, Canada, Spain, France, I mean not France, Sweden, Norway, yeah. These countries they have a king, but the king is well he rules, but he doesn't govern. Yeah, they like there are two different words, right? We say um, we have some in some parts of the world. For example, Canada, there's a prime minister, but the king is the King Charles, yeah. Es decir, es un rey que no gobierna, ¿no? It's like he's the authority, but he's more just like a symbol for the country, right? This happens in Spain. Spain has a president who is the important person who takes the decisions. And they have a king, but the king is like he's no one, you know? He's just a symbol for the country, yeah? So in many places it's like this, yeah? They call it a republic, yeah? And actually there's a correct name for this kind of government because, for example, many countries they are a federation, yeah? For example, Mexico is a federation. Some other countries are republics, okay? So, okay, France. All right. France. What kind of government does France have? I want to give you the right name, right? A unitary state, semi-presidential system. Okay, what about Spain? This is what I wanted to tell you. It's called parliamentary monarchy. So Spain is a monarchy, right? But I mean, the king doesn't have any authority. He's like taking in consideration for taking some decisions. And actually, people from Spain, they prefer the king than the president. Nowadays, people of Spain, they are really mad at the Spanish president. So many countries, they are a parliamentary monarchy. For example, the UK, yeah, England, Scotland, they are a parliamentary monarchy too. Okay, that's an interesting thing because some people think that this is not fair because what money do they use, these kings and these queens and these princes and princesses? They use the money that comes from taxes, yeah? So if you are a citizen of the UK, the money that you pay for taxes, it goes for the kings, for the queens, for the royal family. So some people say that this is not fair. Okay, so the first part says, Yo solía gobernar el mundo. I used to rule the world. Okay, well, France was very powerful. The UK was very powerful, right? And they had colonies all around the world, right? Spain also, they have dominion over many countries. The next part, it says, seas would rise when I gave the word. Remember that in this context, would is the same as used to. So how do we translate the next part? Seas would rise when I gave the word. How do we translate this? Luigi, what do you think? ¿Qué crees que significa seas would rise when I gave the word?
Ah, los mares podrían
Solían.
rendirse
Así es, los mares solían levantarse
cuando
cuando
yo
yo
tenga
daba.
la palabra.
Yes, like when I gave like the word, when I gave the order, cuando yo daba la orden, exactly. So, why are we using here used to and why are we using here would? ¿Por qué será que aquí utilizamos used to, pero aquí utilizamos would? If they are virtually the same, they're the same. They have the same meaning.
The used to is for a person or not?
No, in this case, you can use used to for sis. You can interchange. You can say, I would rule the word. Sis used to rise is correct. And the reason, actually, if I continue with the song,
Seas that rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I
and it says, sweep the streets I used to own. I go back to, I go back to, Used to, right? So, why? Well, it's because used to and would, they are um they are used to just to break the monotony, you know? If I'm using all the time used to, si siempre estoy utilizando used to, si siempre estoy utilizando would, so it gets a little bit monotonous, yeah? So what we prefer in this case is to, we interchange, right? En una oración uso used to, en la siguiente utilizaré would. En la siguiente utilizo used to, en la siguiente utilizo would. So in that case, you break with monotony, yeah? So, and that's why in the song we're using, remember the only limitation, el único límite con would es verbos estáticos, como be, como have, como know y live. Es decir, esos verbos que un verbo es, no son todos los verbos acciones, right? Porque el verbo ser no estoy haciendo algo, ¿no? Es un estado más bien. So, and that's the only restriction for using would. Okay. If I continue with the song, check. Okay. It says, now in the morning, what do you think is the meaning of this, Paula? Now in the morning, I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own.
Ahora en las mañanas duermo sola.
Mhm. Sweep
Em,
the streets I used to own.
what is the meaning of sweep?
Sweep and mop the floor. Barrer.
Barrer.
Ujú.
Barrer las calles que solía eh,
Tener.
tener.
Pertenecían. Exacto. So again, I'm using used to, right? And if I continue with the song, it says, I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. How do you understand, how do you translate, Samantha, this part of the song?
Solía jugar a los dados
Mhm.
y sentir el miedo en mis enemigos.
Yes, en los ojos de mis enemigos, exactly. So exactly, this is the meaning, right? And now we're going back to the book. And so you see that, okay, it continues. Listen as the crowd would sing. Instead of saying the crowd used to sing, quiero decir, la multitud solía cantar, but I don't want to use used to, entonces cambio a would. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. So when they tell you, for example, what did you used to do when you were a kid? So you can interchange using used to and would. For example, when I was a kid, I used to live in a very small house. I would eat candy all day long and watch TV. I used to go to an elementary school that was close to my house, and I would play with the children. Yeah. So when you talk about stages in your life, I don't know, it's not only about stages in your life. You can talk about, um, I don't know, how things used to be at work, how things used to be with a relationship, how things used to be, you know, with everything. Anything that comes to your mind, you can use used to. And now let's practice a little bit. So we're going to work on a couple of exercises to see if you understand used to and would. Okay, here we go. So it says, complete the sentences with the correct form of used to and the verbs in parentheses. So, and you need to help me to read the sentence, okay? And you need to use this structure. Help me, please, Luigi, with the first one. So what do I write in the first sentence? I
I used to thinking everyone in South America spoke Spanish,
exactly,
but now I know that people in Brazil speak Portuguese.
exactly. Okay. Well, you know that some Americans think that every person from South America is a Mexican. You know that I've heard Americans and I mean some even some people who I mean who work with me or people in the supermarket when I was in the United States and they said um they say I don't know something like I don't speak Mexican, ¿no? O sea, lo que querían decir es no hablo español. En vez de decir I don't speak Spanish, te decían I don't speak Mexican. I know it sounds like impossible, but esto es totalmente real. They sometimes Americans are, I don't know, they are very strange people. They don't know about geography, and it's embarrassing because not everyone is like that. But yeah, this is one of the things. Many people think that all the immigrants, for example, are Mexicans, you know, and well, there you can check some videos on YouTube of many people who don't know about geography and they show them, I don't know, the picture, les muestran una foto de Rusia, ¿no? And they say, what country is this? Y no saben, ¿no? I don't know, Mexico. They say things like this. Very crazy. Okay, right? It says, I used to think. But I didn't tell you about other uses of these otras variantes de used to, yeah? So let's see. So the first is used to. You say I used to or I would. Eso significa yo solía. Yeah. Now, if you use the verb to be y tú dices I am used to, entonces el significado cambia. I am used to, it's the present, es el presente, and it means estoy acostumbrado. Acostumbrado, acostumbrada. Okay. You can also write it in past. I was used to. I was used to, entonces sería el pasado. Estaba acostumbrado, acostumbrada. What is the difference between I was used to and I used to? I don't know. I would use it with I don't know with states. I was used to my previous job, right? Estaba acostumbrado o acostumbrada a mi trabajo anterior. I was used to my previous job, right? Entonces aquí quizá conviene usar I was used to en lugar de I used to, right? I used to, right? You're saying just that when you say I was used to, estaba acostumbrado, you know, I was familiar with, estaba familiarizado con, I was familiar with, I am familiar with, ¿ok? Entonces, ese es otro uso que podemos dar con used to y, ok, I am used to and I was used to, okay? But in these exercises, you only need to use used to. All right. What about would? Aquí podríamos utilizar would, porque dijimos que would es lo mismo, ¿no? In this case, it's not possible because think more than an action, it's a state, más que una acción es un estado, right? So when you don't see when the person is thinking, no hay forma de ver cuando una persona está pensando, como el verbo go, como el verbo sleep. Entonces en este caso preferimos utilizar I used to y nunca utilizar would con el verbo think. Okay, what about number two? Can you help me please, Edgardo?
Sure. Steve did not used to ride his bike much, but now he rides it every day.
Okay, now look here. When we have the negative, I'm going to use an auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb for the past is did. Entonces voy a poner did not. Did not, esto es para negativo, ¿ya?
I'm sorry,
It's
what
not
I'd say?
yeah, but that's what you said?
Yes, what
I'm sorry. Can you repeat again?
no, forget it. Please continue.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, so we say did not, right? And we are not going to use right here, but we need to use used to. I did not use to ride. And this is the correct sentence. Why? Because remember that I use the did with used because I don't have did. But every time you have did in the sentence because it's negative or because it's a question, so the verb is in simple form. Yeah. So did not used to, but actually it's better to say didn't. Steve didn't used to ride. Didn't used to ride. Okay. So yeah, in this case we use didn't. And when we have the negative, yeah, this happens also with simple present. When I say, for example, I don't like vegetables, okay? So it's not correct to say I not like, right? I need to use an auxiliary verb every time. And I say I don't like veggies. I don't like vegetables, yeah? So the same in past. Some students could confuse and say something like I not cleaned, ¿no? Y alguien puede decir, bueno, pongo not y el verbo en pasado. I not cleaned. But no, this is not correct. According to grammar, verbo auxiliar, I didn't clean. Yeah, I didn't clean es lo correcto. No, I not clean. Okay. Okay, so the sentence says Steve didn't used to ride his bike much, but now he rides it every day. Steve no solía utilizar su bicicleta, andar en bicicleta mucho, pero ahora monta la bicicleta todos los días. Okay, eso significa ride. Ok, is it possible en vez de didn't used to, si yo quiero utilizar would, o en este caso negativo wouldn't, que sería pues lo mismo, is it possible Steve wouldn't ride his bike much? Que acuérdense que en este contexto used to y would son lo mismo, solo que would tiene la restricción con verbos estáticos. So, do you think is it possible to say Steve wouldn't ride?
I don't know.
Yes, it's possible. So you can use used to, no problem, or you can say would. Okay, entonces puedes decir wouldn't ride, or you can say Steve didn't used to ride, porque ride is an action verb. Es un verbo que no implica un estado, es una acción. Yeah. So no problem. Puedes utilizar used to o puedes usar would, solo que en negativo. Okay. Okay, number 3, can you help me please, Samantha, with number 3?
My grandparents don't used to come to see us often, but now they visit every month.
Okay. My grandparents, okay, so can you tell me again, using this structure, utilizando la estructura used to, ¿cómo sería de nuevo? My grandparents.
My grandparents don't used to come to see us often, but now they visit every month.
Okay, in this case, we need to use didn't. Remember that we're talking about the past. Didn't used to come. No solía. Mis abuelos no solían venir a visitarnos, but now they visit every month. They didn't used to come. Okay, is it possible to use would? My grandparents wouldn't come. Is it possible? Not possible?
I don't think so.
Okay, but it is possible because go and come are both action verbs, ¿ya? Es un verbo que implica una acción, ¿ya? So no problem. As long as al menos que sea be, leave, know, think, ¿ya? Esos son verbos estáticos. But in the case of come es un verbo es una acción, es movimiento, right? So yes, why not? You can say wouldn't come, or lo podemos dejar como didn't used to come. No problem. When are you going to use would? When you are telling your story about your past and you just want to use something different to break the monotony. Yeah. My grandparents didn't used to come. Por ejemplo, aquí sí estamos diciendo mi historia, ¿no? Ok, entonces ya veo que utilicé used to muchas veces. Entonces yo diría, I used to think everyone in South America, bla, bla, bla. Steve wouldn't ride his bike much. Luego aquí vuelvo a used to. My grandparents didn't used to come. Y así como que cuando yo hablo del pasado, juego con used to y con would. Ok. Number 4, please, Paula.
Public transportation would be terrible in this town, but now we have a great subway system.
Okay, you said would be, but in this case, be is one of those verbs that would has a restriction, ¿ya? Be no es como tal una acción, sino es un estado, ¿ya? You don't say, si yo te digo, por ejemplo, please come, por favor ven. So, I see you coming. But, y si yo te digo, please be, no puedes hacer algo para que me demuestres este verbo, right? Entonces, este no es una acción, este es un estado, ¿ya? So, you say public transportation used to be. Entonces, en este caso, sí, que no es posible utilizar would. Public transportation used to be. Used to be. All right. Ok, el transporte público solía ser terrible. Ok, can you help me with number 5, please, Luigi?
We did not cook a lot
Okay,
of meals at home.
but now we only go to restaurants on special occasions. Si you say we didn't cook, bueno, no cocinábamos. But in this case tienes que añadirle algo más para
I
decir no solía.
We did not used to cook
Exactly. We
a
didn't
lot.
used to cook.
Mhm.
Exactly. Eso significa no solíamos cocinar. Correct. We didn't used to cook a lot of meals at home, but now we only go to restaurants on special occasions. ¿Crees que sea posible utilizar would?
Yes, also.
Yes. You can also say we wouldn't cook. Yeah, we wouldn't cook or we didn't used to cook. Porque el verbo cook es una acción, ¿ya? We didn't used to cook. Es un verbo activo, ¿ya? Acuérdense que be, think, live, know, have, son más verbos de estado, ¿ya? Son estáticos. All right, guys, so there you go. Well done. Exactly. Tell me, do you have any questions with used to and would?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so now it's time that you tell me a little bit about your personal story. I would like you to tell me, try to think about about yourselves when you were little kids. Imagine the things that you used to like and the things that now you don't like, and also the things that you have changed. Yeah. Maybe you can tell me, you can talk to me about things that you used to, oh, okay, hold on. Things that you used to um, that you used to do for fun. Places that you used to visit. Also tell me about friends you used to have. And favorite, okay, things that you used to do for fun is like your favorite activities, no? Okay. Please, you can write in the chat, but the most important is that we have a conversation. Please tell me about the things that you used to do for fun when you were a kid or when you were a teenager. Maybe some of you are teenagers, so when you were a kid. And tell me about the places that you used to visit. Tell me about friends that you used to have. Okay. So, all right. If you can, please tell me. Okay. But before, you can try to write it on the chat about these three things, and then we discuss them. Okay. We can talk about them. I see that Edgardo, for example, is already writing. Yeah. I used to play all day in the street until my mom hits me. Okay. Yeah, the Latino mamas, they always use the chancla, right? The chancla, the belt, right? El cinturón, el cinto. Yeah, everything they have, right? Nowadays is considered violence, and but before it was super normal for all of us. Okay, please. So tell me about these things, things that you used to do for fun, places that you used to visit, friends you used to have. Escríbanlo aquí en el chat y ahorita los comentamos, okay? I'm gonna get some water, but please you write your sentences over here, guys.
Only one for each one.
And yes, just one sentence per situation. Okay, thank you. I'm reading all your comments. So again, it said, Edgardo says, I used to play all day in the street until my mom hit me. Okay. Yeah, like before we used to go out a lot, no smartphones. Mm, it was so easy to use your imagination and play with friends. And Samantha says, I used to eat candy until my stomach hurts. Yeah, I was a sweet tooth. I love to eat lots of sweets too. Now in my adulthood, I really don't like sweet. I don't eat cakes. I don't like I'm not crazy about ice cream. I can eat ice cream, but I'm not really into candy. So yeah, I used to love candy and sweets. Edgardo says, when I was young, on weekends we used to go to the beach to fish and camp. Okay, great. Yeah, I don't know why, but I really loved vacation when I was a kid. And now for me, it's very difficult to enjoy vacation when I'm an adult. I don't know why. Luigi says, I used to visit Mexico once a year before 2024. Yeah, right, Luigi, you said that you have visited Cancun. What other places of Mexico do you know?
Guadalajara, CDMX, uh, close to CDMX, Cuernavaca.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the other state, but it's close to Guadalajara. Sinaloa, no, it's like Puerto Vallarta.
Ah, yeah, Puerto Vallarta and
The
Mazatlán
state,
could be.
yeah, the state,
Aha,
Sinaloa.
the state. I think the state. You mean is oh my God. Yeah, it's Guadalajara. Actually, it's Jalisco, where Puerto
Jalisco.
Vallarta is called Jalisco,
Mhm.
and then the north is ah, what's it called? Colima? No. Oh God, I need a map. No, Colima is in the south. Yeah. It's a state. Okay. And how do you know Mexico so well? You visited Mexico a lot. It's Nayarit, Jalisco, then Nayarit. Okay. So you like Mexico?
Yes, my first time when I visit Mexico is for Cancun only, but the next time was for my. I have a ex-girlfriend in Mexico.
You have many friends in Mexico?
A little bit, but only in CDMX.
Okay.
I was living in Mexico in CDMX with an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, I see. Wow. So
Who, where,
Yeah,
you have a good history in Mexico.
where are you from, Luis?
in Peru, Lima.
Okay.
Okay, so you said until 2024. So you mean that you broke up with her last year?
Yeah, not
Oh,
broke, but we have a time. I don't know.
okay. Well, anyway, I'm sorry, man. Well, I hope that any changes for good.
No, but
But
I am thinking to try to still visit Mexico because I like to CDMX. It's very cosmopolitan city, and you can move in the subway. It's not expensive for migrants, I think.
yes, I mean, Cancun is expensive, but most of the places that you told me, Mexico City, Cuernavaca, all the places around, the center, they're very cheap. Yeah, that these are, I mean, they are affordable and they have good food. If you like
Yeah.
spicy food and good food and big food, like good amounts of food. Okay. Good. So you will tell us a little bit more about these experiences. Paola says, I used to practice dancing all day with YouTube tutorials. Yeah, in my case, I learned to play guitar with YouTube. I love YouTube. I have learned so many things on YouTube. Yeah, I have a story with it. Okay, guys. So we will continue talking about it. We have some interesting stories to tell, but we will talk about it in the next class. So thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Take care. See you later.
Very good, teacher.
All
Bye,
right.
teacher.
Goodbye.